Hi, this is Sanjay Parihar. I'm a technologist in Houston, Texas. As I mentioned, we're going to bring a lot of notable faces in the tour and travel industry. So here we are with Mr. Rajagopala Iyer, who is the CEO of UTS Group of Hotels. Welcome to our show, sir.
Hi, how are you? So happy to be with all of you.
Great, great. Thanks for joining. And Mr. Rohit is also along with us. He's a travel agent and served many customers. Hello, Mr. Rohit.
Thank you. Hello, thank you.
And so, again, starting the question, we understand that we are going through this COVID-19 pandemic, and this is all new to everybody. Some part of the world is recovering, some are not. Now, that's something important thing. But the main, if we come at the current part of the entire discussion, let me ask, how did you, reaching to this point and leading the big group of hotels is definitely a hard part. And tell us more about, inspirational journey so far. How did you proceed? And tell us more about that.
It's always something very interesting to talk, but I don't know because people do not have patience to hear your stories. I'm actually in the hospitality industry by accident because almost now, but by accident when I say I've completed now 36 years in the industry.
Wow.
I started my career in 1982 from Delhi Oberois. I've been with Oberois for almost 2.5 years, and then 3 years, and then I was with Taj Group of Hotels for almost 9 years. So it's a long journey, but I never wanted to come to the hotel industry at all. In fact, I wanted to become a model, an actor, a cricketer. So this was actually because no support, to help someone to push me up. I never had a godfather. Even the hospitality industry, I never had a godfather. So it was all hard earned. Like the way you started working. But once I started coming in to the hospitality industry, it was a big passion. I'm not from a very big family background. We're from a low middle class family. We're like Orthodox Brahmins, based in Delhi. I born, brought up, schooling, education, everything from Delhi.
Delhi, okay.
So, those days I remember because I have to, finishing my shift in the night, I have to walk all the way from Delhi Oberois to Nauroji Nagar by walk. I never had even a bicycle. So finishing my duty, I have to walk so many kilometers. There's only thing, one point is that we have this Mulchand where we have this paratha wala, we have this parathas and then again walk,
So still paratha wala is quite popular here in Delhi.
So it is almost for 3 years I was doing it night shift only. The reason behind it is because I never had any other option to do night shift apart from night shift because morning I have to complete my catering college. I'm from Delhi Pusa Catering College, and then evening I have to complete my graduations. I'm from the Bhagat Singh evening BCom honors, what we used to call those days. So my life was very tough because I never expected that after coming out of the school, my life is going to be so tough. My all friends were enjoying. They were going movies. They're going for trips and college life and all that. For me, it was never like that at all. It was always a struggle. And for 3 years, I was like working like hell. But then. Even though I would have thought that my life is so miserable for me, I wanted more money. In fact, so I used to I don't know. Mr. Rohit knows about a place called Yusuf Sarai in Delhi. Those days, actually, after the AIMS, you have this Yusuf Sarai coming in. There were a lot of shops of the chili shops.
Right.
So I used to go there. Sweep. In fact, there are 10-15 shops I used to sweep in the night around 2 o'clock in the midnight and get all the seeds of the red chilies and, collect those chilies and come back, clean up. My mom used to help me out, clean up those red chilies and make pickles early morning, go to the vegetable market, buy pickles. I used to sell pickles and, so many other things I was doing to see that how I can get back. Because my dad said, I'll give you accommodations to stay, lunch, dinner, breakfast, 3 meals I'll give it to you. Rest, even आपका जो underwear है, you have to buy yourself, so I will not be able to support you.
Wow.
So that was a bit tough for me. And but then it was fantastic. 3 years after 3 years, I was joined Taj Palace Delhi, and from there my journey was up only. So now 36 years. It has never been so easy for me. I've been working very, very hard. I always, even now, I work almost for 19 hours per day. So that is my way of working. So there was a dream which is always lying in me to have my own hotel management company. So which I started around 5-6 years back. It's called Raj Hospitality Management. We're based in Bangalore. We have office in Bangalore. We used to manage few hotels. But then recently, what happened is because UDS Group of hotels wanted me to be on full-fledged, full time. I have to manage all the four projects. So I could not actually give concentration to my product. But then my office is still alive and live, and in fact, we are trying to get into more into the hospitality hotels to be taken up and manage them also. So still, if you say you're settled down, I don't think so. I've settled down because there is always a taste of success. You won't really do much better. So now it has become like passion. So I do cookery shows, I do podcasting, I do a lot of training programs, many other things which makes me to feel very happy and maybe support a lot of youngsters who are really coming up in their life to see that how we can support them and train them to be more professionals. That's what I do. So I think it's going on. It will go for some more years. I don't think so I can be stopped. And if someone can stop me, it will be only me. So I'm just going on. Yeah, thank you.
Wow. I mean, this is an inspirational journey from, so ground level, and then coming, I mean, look at you right now. I mean, having entrepreneurship and then CEO of a big group. This is a phenomenal journey, actually. And in addition to that, if I take the liberty to ask this question, there's a lot of inspiration in you. There's a lot of motivation in you. How do you transfer this to your employee? How do you manage your employees? What are the things you look into that while you're selecting for your hotel, either UDS Group?
There's a lot of difference between me and the other CEOs because, of course, they are all from big universities and all that, which is fantastic. Right. I respect to them. But as I said that I'm from the ground level. So what I do is actually I do not act as a CEO. I'm not the owner. In fact, I'm a maybe paid CEO. I'm not the owner of the hotel. Even though I'm getting a percentage of whatever it is, I'm still not the owner. So I make sure that I get into the zero level, from the security booth to dishwash level, to the cooks level, to the housekeeping level. I make sure that I involve myself. I don't interfere, but I involve myself to see that I understand. You ask me about a problem of an operation today, I will understand. I know my motor is not working. I know that in my hotel this is not working or that's not. I have 4-5 projects. Every minute details will be in my fingertips, which I make sure that I am aware of it, and quick actions that can be taken by me. So people have a confidence that okay, if I tell the boss, I'm sure it will be done. Otherwise, what happens is due to some issues, maybe a financial issue or maybe communication gap, things will be stuck there and there. Right. So in our industry, we cannot get stuck, because it's a very demanding industry. So what I make sure that I am involved with the team. Sometimes the second level, third level, I also support them on the HR. So my entire HR is supported by me, and where I get into the nerves of the business as well as making of SOPs for the departments, understanding from their point of view, what are the difficulties they go through. I make sure that I meet these employees very often during the lunchtime, or so whenever I'm out, I just meet them and talk to them, understand. In fact, I behave with them as my family, not as an employee at all.
Great.
So I spend a lot of time, So now this is a shutdown time. I don't have any guests in the hotel, but then I have 62 employees already there. I really speak to them. So I prepare my own breakfast, my lunch, so I make sure the cook is with me.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of Bengalis. Recently they have flood and all this hurricane came down. So we spend quality time. So that makes a lot of loyalty, So if you tell them anything, they'll do it for you. And they also do not work because now last 2 months I'm not able to pay them salary also. But then they are not here for those kind of things. Yes, they may require money, which can be sorted out for them. But then they don't demand that if you don't pay me, I cannot work for you or something like that. So the bonding is more than the professional relationship. When your relationship with them is more stronger, automatically they understand the responsibilities and they start doing the job. So, so that's what I share with my employees.
Wow. I mean, there's the family bonding, there's the emotional bonding there. And that's where you are kind of, the encouraging the entire chain. Great. Thank you for sharing.
There are two kind of industries actually. Either I should be a Crown Plaza or maybe a Lee Meridian, those kind of standards, where I don't have to bother about all this. I just see or just come and go.
Right.
I only look at the high level. But here, in such group of hotels where if the base, the low level employees are not motivated, or maybe they are not aware of the communications, what has been talked by their top people. Things
Right.
will not move. So we have to push from the down rather than pushing from the up.
Right.
That's what
Right.
you can see.
Right. Wow. So bottom up strategy in a way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great. Great. And as we talked about that, this pandemic is going on, and the industry will be kind of shift towards new norms possibly. What's your thought? I mean, how would be the new hotel industry as such post COVID-19 era as such?
To be honest, very honest,
Mm-hmm.
I think all this will go out. Maybe matter of few months and maybe a year max.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a matter. And Indian mentality as such.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I would like to make sure that Indian mentality as such.
Mm-hmm.
Still, we have not learned from the mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it is hygiene standards or anything, we have not learned from the mistake. Now, if you see that recently, I found a picture. In fact, today in my Facebook, I posted that people start collecting the face mask from the beaches now.
Oh wow!
So instead of throwing the plastics, now there's the face mask. You can get it from the beach. People are start throwing as a garbage of face mask because they say the instant ones are maximum for one use or 3 hours maximum. So you can see that different colors of masks are available on the beaches. People come and just throw things out.
Wow.
We're not learning. We're not learning from the mistakes what we have done. This is going to be very serious again. So yes, now we are into. In fact, I will say that we are into the middle of the problem. Either I go out or maybe I go back. So there's no option. There's nothing like look back. There's not possible at all. We have to go out of it. So it may take some time. Struggles will be there, but then you have to build confidence to the customer that yes, it is not going to be the same as far as the standards are concerned or whatever it is. We have taken extra precautions for you. These are what we are doing it. These are the kind of norms. So we have our checklist already made. We have SOPs made as far as the hotel operations are concerned. From the staff level, security level, staff changing room onwards, staff quarters onwards, everyone is going to be monitored very seriously. This is going to be viewed from the kitchen, dishwash area. So this has already been seriously taken. So this has to be cultivated. Maybe this has to be injected into the staff, and this has to become a practice to them. It has to become a habit to them. This will happen. Maximum another 2 months, 3 months. When you're strict with these people, they will start happening. So mask and head cap is going to become a part of our life. This is what I feel. This is what going to happen in the future also. I don't know, in India you have seen this Jains, all those gurus of Jains.
Yes,
using the mask for so many years. We are using it now. So this is going to become a habit for people. And business will definitely come back. 100% business will come back. Only thing is that people will definitely look into the hotel checklist on the standards and the hygiene part. Definitely people will check, especially the people who are doing weddings or the conferences. 100% they will check on this and do. If you are not into the competition, if you're not onto the dot as well as the standards are maintained, you lose the business.
Right.
So definitely it's important to maintain the standards in the coming days.
Great. And so basically this is going to impact everything, like from the training and and multiple process change and overall some of the changes within the hotel. And like you mentioned that everything will come back. It will take 6 months to a year, but everything will come back in a way. Great. So now let me ask this question. I mean, hotel location is one of the most important thing for travelers, right? Tell us more about the location of the hotel or hotels.
Actually, we have two beautiful locations, which you can see in the backside of mine. Also, you can see that's a property which is on the lake. This is one of the most famous lake, which is called Venice of the East. We call it the Alapi.
Wow.
Alapi, which is on the Vaimal. This is called Ponnoda backwaters. Amazing place because it's almost 110 meters of waterfront we have. All the rooms you can see the lake. Amazing beauty. The sun rises in front of the hotel. It's no other way you can describe the beauty of this place.
Right.
And it changes according to the season. Rainy. It's like a girl, who's like doing the change of makeups and all that. It's a beautiful place. Winters are fantastic. Summers will be a bit hot, but the monsoons are very, very beautiful. And we have a lot of exotic birds there. Absolutely fresh fish. It's an amazing place as far as the Alleppey is concerned. Now, where I sit, my corporate office, which is in Uday Samudra Leisure Beach Hotel, Kovalam, another destination. This is again have a beautiful history of almost 22 years now. We started with hardly 30 rooms to start with, and today we have 227 rooms. Wow. That is the growth of the last 22 years. And of course, we have the largest 3 swimming pools. Sorry, we are in front of the Arabian Sea. Again, from the hotel, it is hardly 15 meters. Right on the beach. We are right on the beach. So the location is exotic. No doubt about it. The facilities as far as the hotels are concerned. The Uday Samudra, which is having massive banqueting facilities. And then 3 swimming pools, your spas and your Ayurveda. You name it, everything you have as far as this hotel is concerned. These are the 2 major locations what we have. Apart from that, we have a small, beautiful garden hotel which is next to the international airport of Trivandrum, which does almost 90% occupancy, 95% of occupancy during throughout the year. And that's an amazing hotel, right on to the next to the airport, very close, hardly 5 minutes from the international airport and 2 minutes from the domestic airport. But you don't feel it is your airport hotel or a city hotel. You feel it is a garden hotel because from every balcony you have gardens and you can really amazing property. So these are 3 major projects what we have. Future, maybe now all these issues becomes alright. We are coming up with another amazing location called Vagaman, which is a destination for many. It's like a small Munnar. Actually, Munnar is becoming congested now. So Vagaman, we have 20 acres of tea estate. So we will be coming inside the tea estate, an amazing, very peaceful, serenity kind of a property there. Wow. These are the 3-4 locations what we have.
That would be amazing. That would be definitely amazing. And sometimes the hotel category is a little confusing for the tourist and consumer. Could you please tell us more about the hotel category as such?
We are definitely classified as 5-star hotel as far as Uday Samudra is concerned. But we are not kind of that deluxe property, like Leela or we are not that kind of standard. But we are definitely classified as 5-star on the amenities what we provide, the food what we provide, the hygiene standards what we have, and in those areas we are 5-star definitely, yes. Maybe I do not have luxurious chandeliers or luxurious things. We are crystal clean, neat and a beautiful property with a fantastic location. This is a 5-star property. Our property at the international airport is a 4-star classified, which is an amazing property. Our property at Alleppey is gone for a 5-star classification, but that's also amazing, beautiful, the most beautiful property of the entire UDS group. That is more luxurious, and we have a pool villa coming up there with 9 pool villas coming up there. That's going to be the most amazing location very soon.
Wow, that sounds great. This is definitely interesting, Rohit, right?
Yeah, it's really interesting, Mr. Iyer. And in fact, like the moment we talk about Kerala and all these spices which comes from Kerala, and the seafood, which makes the quite normal, like the question like, how's the cuisine? Like the people, they come and they really like the Kerala food. So what is the cuisine option available there?
Cuisine, just one second. Bala, can I have my book, the book, please? Cuisine, actually, like before talking about the cuisine, we have the most important thing is that the health in Kerala. You must be hearing now about the Swift action plan, what we have done and all that. So the health in Kerala, which is another something very interesting. The climate itself is something very amazing. Where I stay, in fact, I think if you ask me, oxygen level, it will be almost 70%.
Wow.
This is something which you should sell to people or tell people, because why this is better place for Ayurveda is because of the oxygen level, greenery part, and the moisture. The particular moisture. Yes, it is hot, but the moisture helps you out a lot to sweat, and also like when you intake the medicines of Ayurveda, etc., you really become very healthy actually. That's one. Now, second thing, when you come to cuisine part, cuisine is also something very, you like the coconut oil, the fresh coconut oil what they use. Many people do not like it. That's a different thing. But I'm talking about when you talk about the food part, it should be traditional, right? So the coconut oil is the most important ingredient when they start cooking the most of the dishes. Now, because we have a lot of foreigners coming in, so we do not actually use the coconut oil, but then we have the refined oils what we use. The best is definitely the fish, which is the most famous. You have fish curries from Alapi fish curry. You have, you have the Chettinad. I'm not sorry. It's Chettinad. The Alapi fish curry. You have Kannur fish curries. You have, different locations have different. The cuisine changes as per the ingredients. For example, when you see Alapi fish curry, they put raw mangoes to get that kind of taste.
Wow.
So onion, tomato, and then they put the mangoes to get that kind of taste and all. Then you have the most important are duck. You have crabs. You have the pearl fish which is available. The black pearl which is available at the Alapi. And of course, the most important thing is about the sadhya, which is a banana leaf when they do it.
Wow.
They have almost 40, 41 items in the marriage. But those are all actually have different meaning. It has some kind of values of the medicines, because when in the leaf they normally have a ginger with what do you call that? Jaggery and little bit of tamarind. They mixed some pickle kind of thing. So that's first taken. When you touch that, the appetizer start. So it is everything have a clear cut kind of what do you call science values, etc. Scientific values, etc. So the food is different. And you have I don't know whether you understand this or not. You have almost around 40, 41 varieties of curries. So, and end with 4 kheers, it's almost 4 paisams, we call paisams. 4 kheer is being served at the last. It's an amazing. Of course, if you ask me, I don't actually eat Kerala food because we've been brought up in Delhi, But then I am a chef myself. This was one of my book which I have launched recently.
Oh, wow.
So I write a lot of books on cuisine. I have a website. I have a small website called JabBeMeat.com. JabBeMeat.com, which is basically I'm promoting vegetarianism. I myself is a vegetarian, so I cook a lot of vegetarian food for my customers and all that. So it's an amazing experience when you have this fresh vegetable. We, in fact, in our hotel last now 15-20 days lockdown, I am not buying vegetable for myself. I'm taking vegetable from my garden.
Lovely.
Wow.
I have fresh bindis. I have fresh, string beans. I have, tapiacos. I have, I have at least 5 to 6 items, tomatoes, green chili. So I just go in the evening, 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, cut 20 bindis. I don't mind having bindis every day because it's organic, absolutely fresh, So I really enjoy this lockdown because I'm able to cook for myself, So of course, Kerala cuisine is definitely number one, especially the breakfast. You have the string hoppers and you have the puttu, which is all basically, harmless foods. It does not have oil. It does not have idlis. It does not have any kind of oil. It's all steamed. And they have this a very special banana in Kerala, and this is also steamed and had. And it has lots of medicinal value. That's the most important thing when you talk about the Kerala cuisine as such. It's wonderful.
Wow. So I'll take a liberty to ask this question. Tell us more about your books. When you're describing, it sounds like I can see, a chef cooking, and there was so much detail.
Actually, I was actually a celebrity chef for almost 5 years in a TV called Surya TV as far as Kerala is concerned. I had done some other shows also. So that's my passion. Cooking is my passion. You make me at midnight, 1 o'clock and say, Raj, you have 40 people to cook. I love to go to the kitchen.
Wow.
I'm that kind of person. So I love to go to the kitchen. Even now, I have, example, we have some cruise yesterday. Suddenly we have this Air India cruise yesterday who are actually, bringing some guests from abroad and all that. So these guests, these crews wanted Alapi fish curry.
Mhm.
And my cooks were all Bengalis, North Indian cooks, so they don't know what is Alapi fish curry. So we cannot, they're taken the order already. So you cannot tell them no. So all my main chefs are on leaves, where they all stay very, very far. So I said, no problem. So I went and, cooked the Alapi fish curry. So the guest says, wow, fantastic fish curry. I feel very happy about it. It's not like, it's not like you feel that I have to go and do this. I know. So I love to do that. So I have started coming out with my stories about this food and all that. In fact, I'm trying to write a beautiful book which is called Nevedyam, which means prasad bolte hain na,
Prasad,
jisko
yeah,
prasad.
yes.
So there are some temples in Kerala which Bhagwan ko jo bhog lagate hain, the kind of food is prepared in the God's own kitchen. So those recipes I'm trying to work out now.
Wow.
Very nice.
So which has not been done by anyone so far. So this
I'll need it. I'm a vegan, and B, I'm a big devotee, so definitely we'll need it. That's great. Yeah.
That's what we are. I'm trying to close it, but this all issue came in. I could not complete the book. But otherwise, I have South Indian curries. I've come out with Jabbi Meat. If you go to jabbimeat.com, you can see other recipes of mine.
Loved it.
So,
Yeah. Great.
Food is a very big passion for me.
Amazing.
Great. Like, as a CEO and a vegetarian, and the way you present the thing.
Teetotaler too.
Yeah,
What did you learn? Same. Yeah.
and explaining so well about the cuisine, and I'm sure like the guests when they come, they must be having one of the finest CEO of the hotel.
So with all the groups which comes in, we make sure that we have a live cookery show done to them.
Very good. Very good.
We make sure that because they carry this, they put it into their Facebook, they put it into their blog, which helps us a lot to see that how we can promote the cuisine. Promoting the hotel is secondary to me, but promoting the cuisine is more important.
Right.
Right. In fact, like we are seeing a trend now from domestic market. Lots of families are going to travel.
Yeah.
And they are going to travel and will prefer like to stay for longer days, like 3 to 4, 4 to 5 days, because they want to travel for many destination, pick up 1 or 2 destination and travel for those. So of course, when the families are traveling, there would be the kids traveling along with them. So it would be great to hear from you what you offer for the kids. Mr.
Kids, what we do actually is our plans I'm talking about, which we had been done in the past. We have an activity manager inside the resort.
Good.
So we conduct, what we do is actually around 4 o'clock, we give this kind of live chai counters, Typically Kerala is again famous for the chai shops, So we have this typical guy where we have employed our employee. He's actually tea maker. So he's already 60, 62 now. So we employed him. So he will be in this traditional costume of a tea maker, and he will make the chais and all this in front of the customer. And we give them this parpu vadas and those kind of stuff, which is the typical Kerala snacks. And then there we conduct some programs for the customers, where the kids are also given an opportunity to play around. So we give them opportunities. It all depends how active, because we are not like Sterling Resorts and all that where we have an activity zone exclusively we do it. Because there people stay, number of stays for the domestics are much, much more. They stay for 1 week, they are on to the holiday packages and all that. Here, because Alapi is only 1 night destination, Trivandrum is 2 night destination. So here we have limitation, but then we have surplus ideas and creativity as far as the kids are concerned. We do beach volleyball, beach cricket, so many other activities are done for the kids. In fact, we have face paintings, we have tattoo, all this kind of stuff. We give them a lot of opportunities, what they want.
Great. That's great, Sanjay.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And we know that business travels will take some time to come, and the things are opening up in India, right? And these kind of hotels are very, very important when it comes to business travelers, right? And for the group meeting and group building, all those activities. Tell us more about that.
No, I didn't get your question. Sorry.
So the question is basically, generally there is a group meetings or conference meetings. A lot happens for the business travelers, right? And corporate people. How do you see yourself in serving those requests?
No, it is going to be very tough because most of the corporate companies have decided to have their own Zoom meetings, and
Yeah.
I've been talking to I have spoken to some Asian Paints and Berger Paints and all that. They're actually going to cut down onto their costs. Definitely, they're not going to travel the way they were traveling earlier to have this dealers meet. Incentives are not going to happen for some workers. So this is definitely going to be a very big question mark. But as a marketing person, you have to keep on, giving them some offers which are definitely going to be something very different. Like for example, we would like to work with an OTA company where we would like to have the flight charges, hotel charges, all the food, everything has been, the transportation, everything has been merged over there and give them as a package, rather than you say this is different, this is different. So you have to continuously, because I have to work out, because I have almost 8 banquet halls, so I cannot keep it empty.
Right.
So I have to keep trying. They will definitely refuse. They will say I'm sorry and all that. But then you have to keep trying about it. You have to be different. Like for example, now we have 227 rooms. So most of the rooms, around 20 to 30 rooms, they are going to make it as a private dining room. We remove all the furniture from the room and create it as a private dining room, where the locals can be, good. So they get a private toilet inside. They get a private room, air conditioned completely with the hygienic services and all that. So we have to come out and you keep working on such struggle time to come out with innovations and ideas and keep presenting to the customer. I'm sure they will find, definitely it's not so going to be easy. As soon as you open, people are not going to rush back. Domestic, yes. They have not been traveling a lot, and especially the Gujarat market is going to travel max. So, and Kerala being in the world map number 1 now for the safety and the hygiene part. So definitely Kerala will be one of the most important and first destination to come in. So, but otherwise, you talk about conferences, it's going to take some time.
Take time, yeah. And again, I mean, it seems like wedding has a similar sort of thing, but your hotel is pretty much very, very popular for wedding as well, right? Tell us more about that, and how do you see that moving?
See, weddings, our hotel is a destination, definitely a destination wedding place. There's no doubt about it. We do average around 12 to 13 big weddings, big budget weddings during this 1 year. In fact, last year, now we're done. But this is also going to take a hit. You will not have expectation of 400, 500,000 people are not going to come back again. It is going to be much smaller. So the only problem what is going to happen is that we may have to, increase our cost. The cost will definitely increase. But then we have to see that whether the customer is interested to pay so much of money. Earlier my billing will be 60 lakhs, 70 lakhs. This is not going to happen. This is actually maybe I'm talking about 200 people. So this is going to come down to maybe 10 lakhs, 11 lakhs, something like that. But then the kind of the product, what I give to them is definitely on high end. So I may have to compromise there, a little bit on the menus, a little bit on the decoration part, and package it up in a better way to see that still I woo them to see that, do it. Because if I'm not doing 10, if I'm still doing 5, that is definitely going to give more mileage to me and say that something is happening in this hotel, and let's go to this hotel again, rather than I don't do anything. So we have a lot of inquiries start coming about 50 people, 100 people. We start getting a lot of inquiries from the local, of course. International, no inquiries at the moment. But then I don't think so. The future for resorts are going to be such big weddings, fat weddings are not going to happen immediately.
Wow. And while we are about to wrap up our call, is there any other thing you want to mention about UDS group of hotels?
Yes, because as I say that this is in my heart.
Yes.
I would definitely love to talk about my managing director and the CMD, Mr. Rajshekhar Nair, who's again a person like me who has started working as a waiter in a hotel in Mumbai. As a bartender, he worked as a bartender. And his journey is where today he owns so many properties.
Wow.
A very outstanding guy from Kerala, a small village, but he settled down in Mumbai. He works very hard and absolutely fabulous character because he believes in people. For me, he trusts me. That's it. Never questions me. What are you doing? Where are you? And all. They don't. So what happens is when there are no questions asked to you.
Right.
So I feel I am the boss, I am the owner,
Right.
so I take all his role, and I have to work. So that makes me feel happy about it, to see that my responsibilities are more, and I'm very happy about certain things, and so I just, all the credits goes to him also, because the reason is,
Wow.
if you don't give a proper playground to play, I cannot
Right.
play. I may be the best batsman, but if I don't have a good pitch, I cannot bat.
Correct.
So the
Correct.
credit does not comes to me, the credit goes to him first.
Oh, that's
Great, great.
good.
Thanks for sharing that, great, and this is thanks for sharing the insight. So, with that thought, we are ending our conversation for today. Please stay on. We will have some follow-up questions. Thank you very much, Mr.
you.
Rajagopal Iyer. Thank you.
Bye. Take care. See you. Bye.
Take care. Bye.